What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. We're going to be taking a look at what's new this week. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, it's been a little while. Stuff has kind of piled up. I wasn't feeling good for a couple weeks. Those that come to the live know I had to cancel one of my lives to try to recover. It's still hanging around a little bit, but I think I'm almost back to sounding normal. At least I hope so. I had to move some stuff around. You will see that if you're a member, because I'm going to do kind of a behind the scenes for my members to check out. I got a couple more things to help me organize the desk a little bit. I am waiting for just 2 more items, and then I'll be able to finish wrapping that up. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start with a non-EDC related item, and that is going to be this solar powered power bank. So this one here I wanted to check out because it does allow for recharging of the main battery with the solar panel here. It also has, you can see here, USB and USB-C. That allows you to charge devices, and it's not the best, but it does have little flashlights there. So this is like, power outage, and also I imagine like camping, hiking. This would probably be really useful. Now, what I'm trying to decide is if I'm going to do a review on this channel for this, or if I'm going to do this on my mountain bike channel, because I started that. It was a little hard to get the content because if it's raining, snowing, out of season, trails are closed, it's hard to get like consistent content with that. So I'm thinking about just repurposing it for this type of stuff here where, I guess you would call it camping, hiking, prepping. So I will go into this, and just let me know if you're interested in seeing this on the channel. But right there, you can see some of the specs on here. 3.7 volt. It has a 26,800 milliamp battery, which is really good, and then it is solar powered. I quickly threw my phone on there one day to check it, and the wireless charging worked really well. So again, I think that is going to be a very unique item to review on the channel. And I do apologize. I did, again, have to move some stuff around to try to make some of the stuff that I needed to organize my desk work. So everything's a little out of place. I might have to move it around. All right, let's keep it going. So we're going to kick it off with a couple of quick mods. So this week I worked on anodizing my tactile side click pin. This is the full size pin. I did the side click, the switch, and I did the hardware all in that gold bronze color. And then I did the blue on the rest. Not quite sure why it was all polished evenly, but I think because of the milling that they did for the threading on here, this is taking a slightly different color, but I'm really happy with how that came out. And just to get a quick close-up, I think it came out really nice, and it holds up. Like, this is my 3rd pin that I've done in my own collection, and I've done a couple for giveaways that I've had the people give me the feedback that they really liked that anodizing. And then I did my Best Tech Man. This one's a little bit different. It has a glass breaker on it, and I went with a really high voltage. I hope that comes through on camera. You can kind of see it has like an oily finish look to it, and that's just because like the purple and the blues kind of come through almost simultaneously. I really like the way that those came out. And then I forgot to take these out of the package, so I will take them out really quick. And then I did these Bang TI pry bars. I really like these pry bars. I am going to keep my wheat pry bar in my main case, but I like these because they're a really good size and they have more of an acute tip. So if you have a tight spot that you need to get into, these are going to work really well. So on the right, I did more of the traditional blurple. Stonewash on here looks really good. It's so hard to get it to show up on camera. You got to kind of hit the light and trick the light into showing it. But it is like more of a purple to blurple fade. So it starts out a little stronger purple and then goes more into the blues towards the tip. And then that same anode color that I did on the pen, I did something very similar here. So I did a stonewash on this one as well. and then I did the higher voltage. So again, it kind of has that oil slick look in person, but because this one's a little bit more matte from the stone wash, it's not quite as reflective. And then on the corners here, you can see the purple trying to poke out a little bit there. So I really like these. It allows me the opportunity to kind of practice some different color combinations and different colors. I'm going to do some solid colors on some future ones, even though this one here is really close to a solid color. It has very little blue in it. And then these will be just part of prize packs that'll go out in the future. So that is everything non-knife this week that's new. We're going to jump into the knife stuff. I'm going to kick it off first because this video has already dropped with the Asher Knives Little Buddy. Really awesome fixed blade. It is my first experience with an EDC fixed blade, something that I can carry daily. And truth be told, the star of the show is the fact that this pocket sheath really works well. It has a nice thin profile, fold over, very slim profile, nice deep carry pocket clip on here. This allows it to really work in the pants pocket. And then the size of this is really good for me. It's not too big. It doesn't take up a ton of space in the pocket. Very little sticks out in the way that this sheath with the knife works. It really kind of helps tuck it in tight to the seam of the pants on the outer leg. So when you're sitting and standing, it's moving, but it's kind of on the hip. So you feel it. It's there. You can tell that it's there, but it's not obtrusive and it doesn't interfere a ton with like the shirt sitting over top of it and everything like that. Ergonomically, very good, neutral handle. It is 3 3/4, so I can almost get 4 fingers on here. You know, go check out that review, guys. This has been perfect for me just to test. Price-wise, it comes in at about $100, which is great. Good steel with S90V, nice finish. The materials and everything are built well, put on well, assembled well. And everything is holding up. I'll continue to give updates on this one, but I don't want to spend too much time on it because, again, the review has already dropped, and it was just unfortunate I didn't get to include this or feature this in a What's New This Week because I wasn't feeling too well. But I did want to hit on that just in case you missed that video. You can go back and check that out if you only check out the What's News. Now, this is not a new knife, but I am practicing and trying to get better, as you saw with the stonewash and anode, but also with just the plain stonewash. So if you're not familiar, this came with a satin finish blade. What I did was the acid etch and then I did the stonewash on it. I'm very happy with the way this came out. I know I've been talking about trading my Padre for a stonewash version because I have the satin version. I'm going to practice this on a few more of my budget knives because I'm really happy with the way that this came out. I think it came out great. You know, I'm not trying to brag, but I'm just so happy with how dark the acid etch came out on this one and with the stonewash on this one. I have a couple things that I want to practice on, but I just wanted to share this in a What's New This Week just so you can see like a new mod on a newer knife. And I really think they complement each other. The black micarta with the acid etch and stonewash blade I think complement each other very nicely. Granted, everything else is still polished, but I think they do complement each other. And in the past, I have done hardware acid etch, and that usually comes out really nice because the stainless steel really takes a nice patina, so it ends up looking really nice. And then, you know, I could do the liners to match this one, but I wanted to practice it and just see what it looked like, and also kind of see what you guys thought. I will show this again on the live. All this stuff on the live, we'll talk about it this week. It's tomorrow. Tomorrow's the live for this week, so we'll cover that as well. But I really like this model a lot, guys. If you didn't get to see the review, go check that review out. It is really awesome that they're bringing this in about $60. You know, micarta 14C28N, stainless steel liner, liner lock. It's got ceramic bearings in a caged nylon washer, and it works really well, super smooth. And I will publish the video on the acid etch. I went ahead and did all of that so that I can show you how I went about that in case you're interested in doing something like that yourself. So that is the Migron Curix, and that is the stonewash that I did on that one. All right, let's get into the new stuff this week. First, we're going to kick it off with the Sincut Glide Strike. This is really interesting, guys. 40 bucks, 9 CR, 18 MOV, great stainless steel, good edge retention. Black micarta, I believe they also offer it in G10. Stainless steel, fold over deep carry clip. The nice thing about this one is, one, it is reversible, and two, because it sits on top of the scale, if you really like this model and you'd like to class it up a little bit for around 10, 15 bucks, you can get Civivi's milled titanium pocket clip, and that will work really well with this one. It is a liner lock, really good action, guys. This one here reminds me of the, I think it's the Ziphius, but I could be wrong. But if you couldn't afford that one, this is going to be a really interesting option. The review is going to come out from that. You can see choked up here, tons of space in front of the finger, so you can feel confident with any type of detailed work, or if you feel like you need to choke up and get close for any type of push power cutting, that will work really well. And then if you need to do any chopping task or puncture task, you can move back, way back off the blade. It has a nice acute tip. It's just a really interesting option, and I think it does mimic some of the Wii models that are way up there, or the Sentinel Strike, maybe if that's just out of reach for you, or maybe you just want something that is a little bit of a beater. This one here really impressed me. It is in this week. A review will be coming for this one. Be on the lookout for that. That is the Sincut Glide Strike. All right, next in, these are all pass-around knives. I'm sorry, I keep looking down. I'm trying to look to see what's next to make sure I've hit everything. That's everything that is mine, that I own, that is in my inventory. Everything else is going to be part of the pass-around. First, I've had this one the longest, so I'm going to have to get this review done soon. But this is the Tempest Knives Fractus. From our boy KC over on Knives Fast. He designed this one. I really like this model a ton. Unlike the Jetstream, this one here is more of a thin boy. So the Jetstream felt contoured, a little bit more girthy, felt like a really hard use working folder. This feels more EDC, more thin in profile. It does have some slight contouring. I don't know how well it'll come out, but this does have some micro milling on it. So you got a little bit of extra grip. 2 different versions of inlays were offered. I think this sold really well for him. I think this was probably one of the fastest selling to sell out. And I'm hoping because of that, he may be interested in doing some more. What I would suggest to KC is give some different options so that the people that got the first batch have these. You could probably keep the twilled carbon fiber because I think that will be something that appeals to a lot of people that don't like a lot of color on their scales. But what I would say is if you didn't want to do that, just go all titanium and milled all the way across and get rid of the inlays for one. So just the all naked, and then do a different inlay for the second option if you wanted to do that. Or you could do all blacked out. You know, that would look really good with the inlay. I think that would go off very well, as very good as well. But there's going to be some changes on this when it comes out. Is that a, what is that? What is that? I didn't notice that before. Is that a, is that something on the scale, or I hadn't noticed that yet. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if that's a void. I hadn't really noticed that yet, but I'll cover that in the review. But again, prototype, it will have T8 dual pivot. So a pivot and pivot screw will have T8 in it. I know that's one of the changes. And then pocket clip is not going to be reversible. I think he's going to offer lefty clips for that slant to go the other way if you wanted to flip it. S90V, super comfortable. This full review will be coming up on the channel. I've had this one the longest, so I'm actually ready to do this review. But I'm really impressed with this model. This is by far, I feel like he's evolving with his design aesthetics, little changes, little differences, things that he picked up that he liked and got good feedback from in other knives and applying it to future models. And I think that's all you can ask for when you get someone that's designing knives. And I really like this. I did pre-order and I'm super excited to get the final production version of mine. I think this is one that is definitely going to be in the pocket a ton. That is the Tempest Knives Fractus. In this week, I also have another KMU Chad. There's already been one of these in the past round, but that one had the diamond texture. So I wanted to check this one out. It was a package. The other knife too I wanted to check out, but I was excited to get to check this out in the orange peel so I can talk about some of the differences. And then just again, to talk about the consistency with the PM50 or PM60, whatever the steel is. I'll definitely have it nailed down by the time we get to the final review. And just to see, again, I really think the springs that they've picked with their crossbar lock works best with thumb studs. Feels really good, nice action, nice and smooth. So I can talk about some of the differences and show a little bit more cutting with this since I'm seeing a second version of it. Again, I don't have a ton of knowledge or experience with the steel, but I do know high rock wall, heat treat, and it's supposed to have like super good edge retention. But that is another Chad, and that'll be coming up. I am going to do a full review because I want to experience the two differences and talk to those. Last this week, we got the KMU Knives Shocker. The Shocker coming in with this beautiful DLC. It is like a diamond texture where you can see through it. I forget what they call it. I say diamond texture because I think that's what Spyderco calls it on theirs as well. Like a diamond nitrate something or another. Again, I'm not an expert because I'm not a huge fan of coatings, but I like this because it's translucent. You can still see the grind lines through it, and I have found that when they come like this, when they're done right, they hold up really well. When you're cutting, you can use this knife and not worry about it. Or, you might like that it has that patina where it has the markings where you've been cutting with it a bunch. But I have found that these hold up really well, clean off really well so that they don't show that long term. So it is something that you can keep looking really nice if you like that. There's a lot of good here. I don't want to give too much away on the review, but I really like this. I think this is interesting too, because if I recall correctly, this one here, 20CV, I think they've done S90V and M390. I don't know that I've seen 20CV from them, and it could just be that I haven't seen a knife from them, and they have probably done 20CV, and that's probably more likely because I haven't gotten to experience everything. But titanium frame lock, titanium pocket clip, titanium backspacer, really nice. I would say, right off the gate, just a quick little tidbit, and I'll hit on that. Black out the hardware. I mean, if you're going to make it all black, black out the hardware. Make it just murder it out. You might not agree. You might like the little bit of pop of color there. But that is everything this week. That is the KMU Shocker. The KMU Chad, this one with the orange peel ply texture instead of the diamond texture, so I'm glad I'll be getting to check that out. The Tempest Knives Fractus is in this week. New to the channel for me is going to be the Sincut Glide Strike, and then again the Asher Knives little buddy. That review is already out. Make sure you go and check that one out. And then just gonna highlighting the mods again. We got the Kyrix 2 with the stonewash, and then we got some anno work on some titanium pins that are mine, and then some anno work on some titanium pry bars that'll be included in future giveaways. So a lot going on this week, and a little bit of that again is because I was backed up. I had been sick. I couldn't make it through a video without coughing and sniffling, and it was just really bad congestion. It's still lingering a little bit, but it's definitely a lot better. Thanks to everyone out there that wished me well to heal up and get back. I feel much better, and I'm super excited to be kind of back into my normal routine, being able to make content for you guys and be able to hang out with you on the live streams. Let me know if you have any questions. If you do have a question about the little buddy, just let me know in this one or come hit me up in the live streams to talk about it, because that review is out. I really like the little buddy. It influenced me so much so that I actually picked up another knife. That'll be a surprise for a future video release, but I'm really just surprised how much I enjoyed it. I didn't think I would be like, because I like to fidget with the knife, and it's usually a companion carry. The little buddy would be the main carry, and I'll have something else that I have in my pocket anyway, so that need to fidget for me personally, not that that's a prerequisite for a good EDC, but to be able to fidget with something that's got really nice action, I typically will have something else on hand, whether it's the clicky pins or the bolt action pins or the fidgets that I only have a couple, but I have some fidgets. And of course the pocket knives, those other knives that I have work really well. Let me know what you think about what has come in this week. Again, if you have any questions, the comments help the channel, the views, the links, all of that helps, guys. I appreciate the support. You all are awesome. I hope you have a fantastic week. Love you guys. And until next time, peace.